Alright, I finally got my hands on the actual document from the DOJ on what Rare Breed was agreed to do, and they sold us down the river. They sold us down the river bad. Now, because I'm about to trash on them on this video, I first need to put you in their shoes so it helps you understand why they made the choices they made. Now, I'm not saying that justifies it. I just want you to understand this is what they were facing. So, on one hand, now, I got incarcerated when all this went down, but I remember thinking, like, before I got incarcerated, like, man, it really looks like they're about to get set up for RICO charges. I don't know if they ever did, or if, again, this all happened while I was getting incarcerated, but, like, right before it, I was like, man, they might get hit with RICO. So they're facing possible criminal prosecution. Best case scenario, they get prosecuted like me, and then they get 5 years. But if they were going to get RICO'd, we could be talking about life. Or, option number 2, they get a government-sanctioned monopoly and basically are guaranteed to be rich beyond their wildest dreams. Now, you may be saying, well, hey, if they would have held out, they were going to win their case. Everybody knows they were going to win their case, and they still could have made a bunch of money, and everything would have been fine, and then there would have been a precedence, and they would have had the stupid agreement. Understand their vision, what they were seeing at the time. CRS Firearms just went to prison over a drawing. Got convicted over a drawing. Is my part that has multiple mechanical parts and actually makes a firearm fire faster, because the CRS product does not, is that likely to be not found as a machine gun? Number 2, the whole gun community was turning against them. Now, I shouldn't say the gun community like as a whole. A lot of the gun creators were, not because we didn't like them. We were upset with them because they continued to sell their product after it was known to be a machine gun. Yes, things worked out, but what if it hadn't? What if they would have been found guilty of having a machine gun? Now we have thousands of Americans at risk of getting their door kicked in, getting raided, people possibly dying. That's what the problem was. When they got basically a cease and desist on a civil level, the proper way in my head to handle this is, hey guys, we just got the cease and desist. They're saying our product's a machine gun. We all know it's not. We need to fight this, so we're going to run a fundraiser to get funds to fight this, and we're going to win. And then when we win, our product will be back for sale. That clears everybody of anybody that bought it before. Well, they bought it in good faith that it wasn't a machine gun. Everybody knew it wasn't a machine gun. Now the ATF legally designated that part as a machine gun. You don't go to court and get to argue whether it is or is not a machine gun. You go to court to argue whether or not you did or did not have it. And if they come into your house and find that Rare Breed trigger, you're going to prison. Now, things worked out, so that didn't happen, but it could have went in a totally different direction. That's what we were all upset about. Just the slimy tactics they were doing. Just being complete dirt bags. They should have pulled the product, fought their case, won, and then brought their product back to the market. Not continued to bankroll and get rich the whole time. Basically using the sales things, hey, this is going to be a machine gun possibly, so buy it now while you still can. So, the other big problem is, depending on where you live, if there's a natural disaster, your area could be triaged off because they could pull resources and put it somewhere else. And that's what the sponsor of this channel is here to fix. So it's gotyour6app.com. Now you have to go to the .com because it's not in the App Store because it was Second Amendment related. Where you can get their app, you can download it totally free. And with this app, depending on what package you pick, you can hit a panic button so everybody in your community knows you're in trouble and they'll all come to save you. That's the whole point of the app, and I'm really glad they're sponsoring the channel because, as we know, the last sponsor of the channel went to federal prison, so it's a little bit hard to get sponsors right now. So please check out their website, even if you just get the free version, just to check it out and show them that supporting me, you're going to support them. Anyways, let's get back into the video. So there's a lot of slimy stuff that goes on with... Did someone say slimy bullshit? Don't worry, CRS. I got this one. I can handle this. I know my way around slimy bullshit. Alright, so the first slimy bullshit we're going to talk about here is your FRT is still a machine gun. Yeah, you read the title correctly. You heard me correctly. Right now, your FRT is legally a machine gun. However, in their little settlement, the DOJ agrees not to prosecute. They agree not to go 922-0 on them. So that's wild. So at any time the DOJ could switch back to, we are going to prosecute, and now you're at risk of getting your door kicked in. So just let that set in. Your FRT is still a machine gun. Number 2. So what we got going on here is the patent enforcement. So the ATF can't go after shit that doesn't violate the NFA. That's what they're supposed to do. Yes, we know they definitely do go after shit that doesn't violate the NFA. Like, I don't know, yellow key card. But they're not supposed to. So they basically deputized rare breed triggers to go after patents and shut people down. Now understand, they're only legally obligated to go after their patents. So before they bought that one from Twin Bros, before they bought all these other patents, the only one they had to enforce was the 223 patent. So them going after the super safety in that isn't the government making them doing that. That's them being slimy dirtbags. I mean that. Like, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to buy that patent from Twin Bros. The patent from Twin Bros is the only reason now they have to go after Tim Hoffman. And I agree that, no, Tim Hoffman's design was out first, so that patent definitely does not cover his design, but we'll have to see what a judge decides. I mean, a judge could decide whatever they want. The next one is they've now become a government-sanctioned monopoly. We've seen how this worked out in the past with government contracts. I don't know if you guys seen the movie War Dogs. It kind of breaks it down a little bit, but basically like the courts are going to step in at some point and be like, rare breed, you can't do that. You have a government-sanctioned monopoly. We need to break it up. Now, I don't know if anybody's suing them yet for having a monopoly, but it'll come. You watch. When that happens, then what happens to their agreement? Is it null and void? Is now the ATF's going to start enforcing 922.0 on rare breed triggers? I don't know. We'll have to see how that all goes down. Let's just move on, okay? Bam! So now they have a machine gun carve-out for the rare breed trigger. So this carve-out says that they cannot make the rare breed triggers for handguns. And this does a whole bunch of different things. It sets a precedence that, hey, some things are too dangerous to be in other things. So you could have, I'm just going to use red dots as an example. You could have a red dot on a rifle and that's totally legal, but if you put one on a handgun, that's illegal. Now understand, they put a definition in their little agreement that a handgun has to take a magazine through the handle. We all know that that's not the definition of a handgun. The definition of a handgun, there's hundreds of them already out there that are AR-15s with pistol braces. Those are considered legally a handgun. So what's going to happen when the next administration comes in and it's anti-gun, which could very well be the next administration, they'll be like, well, hey, this says it can't go in a handgun. Yes, they have a definition in there that the handgun needs to take a magazine to a pistol grip, but that is the incorrect definition of a handgun, and we've already caught people with AR-15s with FRTs in it, so, well, our little agreement to not enforce 922.0 on that is null and void. Go out there, start collecting these things. We force them to keep shipping records, so you guys know where they're at. Go and get them. That's ridiculous. So now they set a precedence that, hey, yeah, some things can be regulated on certain firearms and some things cannot. I'm assuming they did this because I believe realistically the NFA is going to fall. When the NFA falls, they're going to try to get a carve-out in there for handguns to try to hang on to some sort of gun control. And I think they're going to use this as an example that, hey, even the industry leaders are willing to admit that the rifles are safe with an FRT, but handguns are not safe when they fire that full auto. And because AR-15s are likely going to be constitutionally protected by name, which means even full auto AR-15s, they're not going to completely come off of full auto restrictions for handguns, and they're still going to go after handguns, and this is the precedence they're probably going to use it. Otherwise, like I said, the other thing is the next administration is just going to be like, well, that's not the legal definition of a handgun, so we're going to say our little agreement's null and void because the real definition of a handgun, there's definitely FRTs in them. The next one, safe and lawful use, and cooperate with the government. So in order for these rare breed triggers to not be prosecuted, they have to agree to make it safe and lawful. What does that even mean? That's such a vague term. The next administration can be like, well, we want GPS tracking on every rare breed trigger. We want serial numbers and basically put all these restrictions that either are impossible to hit or they raise the price of the rare breed so high that Lawrence Domenico is just like, no, I'm not doing that. Bam, now their contract's null and void. Now the ATF can go after all these rare breed triggers again. So that's ridiculous. Plus, like I said, they have to cooperate with the government. We're talking about shipping addresses here, people. That's a big deal. They have to do this in order to keep their little agreement alive. So whatever the government asks, it doesn't matter. They have to do it. Cooperate with the government. That's it. And again, like I said, their patent, I don't know when the last time they updated it. From what I understand, a patent only lasts 20 years, and this little agreement only goes for as long as the patent's valid. Once the patent expires, 20 years from now, let's say I bought an AR-15 and I put a rare breed trigger in it and I give it to my kid, and well, now all of a sudden 20 years later, because they did it with the bump stock, they said the bump stocks were legal, and then they're not if you get caught with a 1-year felony. Now my kid has a house fire and the ATF shows up, and while they had an illegal machine gun, they went to prison. Again, I think the unfatal fallout won't be an issue, but that is a potential problem that we could be looking at in the future, is once their patent expires, now all these FRTs are being prosecuted again. Because remember, they're still an illegal machine gun. They're just choosing not to prosecute them. So I did a little bit of research on patents to help you guys understand how ridiculous they're being. This is how the rule of thumb of patent works. So if rare breed patents A, B, and C to equal their trigger, which is the ultimate goal of being a force reset trigger, if you have A plus B plus C and you add D, so it's A plus B plus D, no, that's still a patent infringement. The judge will definitely rule in their favor. However, if you can get to the end goal of having a force reset trigger by going A plus B, but you eliminate C, you find a different way to do it, yes, that is okay. You will not be in patent infringement. So like the super safety, where they're not even using the same route, they're going A plus B, they're not even doing A plus B. They're just getting to D, or the answer, force reset trigger, without using any of their patent stuff. No, that wouldn't have been covered. Now, the Twin Bros thing, like I said, that throws a monkey wrench in the works. I don't know what the judge is going to rule. I feel the judge is going to be like, hey, that product existed before the patent, so clearly he's the inventor. How are you going to put a patent on the inventor and then want to go, this is like the whole Terminator thing. If Kyle Reese came back, John Connor would have never been born, which means they would have never had somebody to go against the Terminator, but because they sent the Terminator back, Kyle Reese came back, which therefore made John Connor, and it's just this weird timeline that's basically what they're trying to do with the super safety thing. Will the judge look at it like that, or will he be like, well, hey, they have the patent stands, I don't know, we'll have to see where it goes. So, all this slimy shit together, that's why I'm not liking them right now. When I read that agreement, I was like, oh man, that's bad. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt before, but yeah, that's bad. They have a government-sanctioned monopoly, and the government packs a big gun. They are a gang that will come and kill you. And they're saying that FRTs are still illegal, but they're not going to enforce this one particular brand. And they could change their mind at any time. So, buy with caution, I guess. That's all I can say. Anyways, if you guys like to help support the channel directly, the best way to do it is shopping at onlytacticalfans.shopify.com, where you can buy MREs, cool merchandise, and other great stuff that helps support this channel directly, because I'm permanently demonetized from YouTube, and that will likely stay permanent. Otherwise, if you don't want to spend money, but you still want to support the channel, the next best way to do that is go down to the description, click on the Amazon affiliate link. Just by clicking on that link. Even if you don't buy what that link is for, just clicking on it. Doing the Amazon shopping you were already going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.